block from Holloway.
At 17 years old, I was one of those interns working out of his office, riding around in the Luke vans, getting people registered to vote.
So I look as Luke as the father of Miami. But Luke, I just want to say I love you and I appreciate you and I'm grateful for you. I'm happy for you. You're proud. Luke Campbell Way, Liberty City, Dade County, 305. Make some noise for Uncle Luke.
Everybody that's out here, they're out here because we all got something in common. And what we have in common is we help. We help kids like this. Gil Green helps and inspire. DJ Epps helps and inspire. Devontae Freeman helps and inspire. DJ Khaled helps tremendously inspire. My good friend Stan the Man over there helped. E-Class, who was here, helps and inspire. These guys do a lot of things that you all don't even know. I mean, teach, owns a restaurant, helps and inspire. I mean, that is what it's all about. Hey, how y'all doing? Come on in. Come on down. Happy Saturday. I love it. Come on in. Like, share, and subscribe the page. I'm live. They told me I need to do my backdrop like this because I am running for Congress and some ballots are out there. If you got a ballot on your table in my district in Broward County, fill the ballot on out. Take it on down to the drop box. Don't give it to nobody. But hi. It's a happy Saturday. It's a beautiful Saturday. I'm out here by the lake. I got this backdrop here. I get to sit here, feel the breeze. I lay back, went to sleep. I didn't realize you go to sleep out here and your legs are not elevated and everything goes dead. Never experience these things until you get old. When you get old, you got to sleep a certain type of way. When you get up, you can't get up fast. You can't get up fast. If you get old, you cannot get up fast. That don't work. Hopefully my man Streeter come in here today. I'm just chilling today. It's nothing too serious. It's been raining all day, so I couldn't go door to door. I wanted to go to the mall, hang out at the mall. He said I could jump on at 6:45. I asked him about University of Miami, how we getting all these 5 stars. We getting a lot of 5 stars at the University of Miami. I don't be liking to do these backdrop because they had all this stuff be in the background, make it look like your head is on fire. But that's what we're doing. Luther Campbell for Congress. That's where we at. I just came on today, man, just to holler at y'all. I wanted to see how this backdrop really looks. I think it looks cool. See my little cute face. Everybody keeps saying they be trying to guess my age, but they can't. Keep telling them I'm 100. That's what it is. But yeah, man, this week has been exciting. Let me just tell y'all, it's been great. Shouts out to everybody that's on here, on my YouTube page, on my Facebook page, both of my Facebook page, my fan club page, everybody that's on X. Shouts out to y'all. I was over there chilling, talking to my man Re-Ups over there on Twitter and some of the good folks in his room. I went viral 2 times this week. Yes, I did. Went viral. Maybe 2 or 3 times. What is viral? 100,000 people, 200,000 people. One clip went 1 million. 1 million views. It was like, whoa. I didn't know that many people were interested in election fraud. And when I invoked Donald Trump's name, then it really got crazy, because Donald Trump has consistently said that there is voter fraud. And voter fraud with mail-in ballots. And people have been disputing that. And he said a large part of that comes from my party, which is the Democratic Party. And he's correct. I mean, as far as I know in my race, and one thing about me, I keep it a buck. I stand, I don't sugarcoat anything. Right is right, is wrong. Do I do 90% of the things that Donald Trump said I don't agree with. I don't agree with a lot of things that he's done to African Americans. But when he's right, he's right. And I'm not saying it. I'm saying it because I'm deep into a race. I'm literally deep into a race. And so when you get deep into anything in the business, man, that I am, you look at the pros and the cons of everything. You look at strategy and strategizing, and you hear about these things of voter fraud, and you hear about them from people like Donald Trump. And you say to yourself, oh, no, that's not true. He's making things up. And then when you get into the race and you see and you hear about this thing called ballot harvesting and people going to old folks' house to pick up ballots, you didn't say to yourself, shit, real. This is really real. And who does it? How it gets done? How much money it costs? And then you go to sitting there saying, oh, wow, that's why these people need to have millions and millions of dollars in their campaign account so they can be able to buy the ballot harvester. And then they tell you the ballot. Let me tell you how the ballot harvester. Let's do an education today since I'm just chilling. Let's do a education on campaigning. And we're going to sit right here, ballot fraud, ballot harvesting, and ballot fraud. So here's how it works. You have an electorate. The election department sends you a list. On that list, you put it into your software. It'll tell you how many people are mail-in ballot voters. So you look into the mail-in ballot voters in your district. It gives you all their information. It gives you their telephone number. It gives you their name. It gives you their address. And it gives you their age. So if you sit there and you look at a person that's age 84, the person that's 84 or 85 or 93, and you look at them and then you pull up their address and you can go to Google search and pull their address up and see that they don't live in a group home, but they live in a house. They're still getting around. And they send those people to the house and say, hello, Miss Martha, this is Bob from the Lady Campaign. And I'm coming here to help you out with your ballot. Did you fill out your ballot? Yes. Oh, if you like, I can take it down to the mailbox and drop it off for you. Oh, thank you, son. And they look at the shirt, they see the lady name on there, and they say, oh, I know her. I know you work for the campaign, yes. Okay, drop my thing off. Person get it, all of them go to all different houses and go grab them. And next thing you know, they start looking at them. One person in the back seat, you just opening them up, looking at them. If it's done with an ink pen and there's not your candidate, throw it in the garbage. If it's done with a pencil, not with your candidate, erase it, put in your candidate. That's one part of it. Ballot harvesting, like harvesting the fruit. That is what they do. Here's the second part of it. So, big ballot harvesters at the senior citizen home. This is where they should not even let outside entities come into the senior home doing things for the seniors. So what do they do for the seniors? They go into the senior home and do what? They go in there all year round, taking the seniors to the shuffleboard court, taking the seniors out bowling, taking the seniors to the movies, taking the seniors to the beach. Now, mind you, they do not work for the senior citizen home. They work for themselves. So when it's time for an election, they're considered as ballot harvesters. When it's time for an election, they get hired by the campaign. Why? Because those same people that created this relationship with those seniors, fed them, took them here, took them there, took them to the movies, took them to the beach. They trust them. And so they trust them to do things for them, run errands and all that for them. And so when it's time for them to take their mail-in ballot, they make sure they sign up for mail-in ballot, first of all. When it's time for them to take their mail-in ballot, they say, oh, I take it, Miss Martha. And sometimes Miss Martha say, go ahead, Bobby, fill it out for me. You know what I like and who I like, because they have a relationship with them. So these senior facilities should not let people in their facilities taking their folks on these group trips, because those are the folk, those are ballot harvesters. See how dirty it is? And think about it. You think they're going to some rich white Republican senior home to do some stuff like that? No. You think they're going to some rich white Republican house getting their ballots? No. It's more of a Democratic thing, unfortunately. I'm sorry to say it. And I'm blue through and through. So I'm seeing it firsthand in my election. It's a lot of ballot harvesting. There's a lot of dirty pushing down signs. There's a lot of dirty things. It may not be a dirty race, but it is a lot of dirty politics going on. A lot of taking ballots. But it is what it is. The bottom line, how you circumvent all that, is you go out and vote. There's only 20,000 ballots available. It's about, 400,000 or 500,000 people that have voters registration cards. And if all those folks go out and vote for yours truly, it will supersede all of that. And we will win in big numbers. It's crazy because I exposed that, and ballots, the early voting ballot numbers are down. The mail-in ballot numbers are down, amazingly enough. Those numbers are down. Normally, they have about 20,000 early voting ballots, and those numbers are normally up. It's about 5,000 people early voted in the mail-in ballot, so that's a good thing. The ballot harvesters have taken a chill pill for now. I'm pretty sure they got those ballots right now. They should put those ballot drop box in a secure location or have somebody monitoring it. And if somebody come there with a boatload of ballots, they need to stop them, put them in jail right there. That's, I don't believe in just getting rid of early ballots, because I know there are some seniors who can't get to the poll, who can't stand that long line all day and all night. And I truly believe there should be. There's some people who are sick and ill and they're in the hospital. They want to vote by mail. I vote by mail because I'm always on the road. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't say get rid of vote by mail completely, but I say put certain measures in to prevent people from doing this illegal stuff, in my opinion. You can easily, look, you're going to vote by mail? Okay, fine. We got a box. And the box got a camera on it. You come roll up there with a whole bunch of ballots, that's going to be a problem. You can monitor that. Simple as that. But stamp them in. Do something different. We got creative ways to get it done. But how y'all doing? Somebody at the gate. Hello? Yes, you can let them in. See, you can tell it's Saturday. I even answer the phone now. I should let some of y'all. Anybody got any questions for me? I'm just going to hear from y'all. They'll do that every time. Yes, they will. They'll do it every time. It is sad, Philip. Unfortunately, that's where we at. So a lot of things happen why y'all don't get the candidate that y'all really want. A lot of these things happen. Unfortunately, it is what it is. We're in a race. We're going to win it. We're going to Washington, and we're going to get some things done. And it's all if the Lord, the man upstairs, decide that is what he wants. We'll overcome all those things. What do you think about the Dan Le Batard show and Mike Ryan? I like Dan. I don't like Mike Ryan. I knew Mike Ryan when he was a young guy, when he first started with Dan. He was a very, very cool young guy. I think with the success and the fame, Mike Ryan has turned into something that I really don't like. I think the success and fame went to his head. Mike Ryan is put it this way. He has his opinion, and his opinion is based on his culture. Just like me. A large part of my opinion is based on me being Black, African American, Jamaican, Bahamian. His opinion is based on him being Cuban. So if you say something about Mario Cristobal, he's going to be offended, and Mike Ryan is going to say something, whether Mario is right or whether Mario is wrong. We all do some things right and do some things wrong, and then sometimes we defend no matter what, and that is what Mike Ryan is, and he's grown up to be something in a person that I'm not fond of. Dan will always be my friend. I love Dan like a brother. Dan came to my wedding when I was married, and I always consider him as a friend. I've been offered to go on the show a couple times, but I don't want to go on the show because of Mike Ryan. And me and Dan has had a relationship all the way back when he wrote some negative articles, in my opinion, told some fields. I made Dan career. So therefore, I made Mike Ryan career. I made his career. When he started writing articles about me in the University of Miami and started making shit up, and he became a successful writer. And then before you know it, he then went on to ESPN and built the platform, and I'm happy for Dan. And so that is how I feel about Dan and Mike Ryan. As you see, I don't roll no punches, man. I don't hold back. I don't do the politically correct answer. So if that's what people, but I like the show. I like the show. The show is a good show. Do I look at it that often? No, I don't. I don't have too much time to look at anything these days. I got to stay focused on the race I'm running. Thanks, sir. I really appreciate it. You're a gentleman and a scholar. This show is not sponsored by Jersey Mike. I got Jersey Mike. Hey, bring me a soda. Yo, orange. See, I'm eating bad today. no exercise, no workout, which I did a little something today. No more questions in the chat? Let's talk about this.
Lungs and airway were both missing, so they couldn't see if there was water in his lungs indicating drowning. His brain was missing, so they couldn't see if there was a brain bleed, and even his stomach contents were missing, so they couldn't see if he had drugs in his system. They said in the initial autopsy, the Mississippi State Medical Examiner's Office had removed all of those parts for further evaluation before the independent autopsy, so they didn't have a lot to work with.
That's amazing and unfortunate. Now, I know everybody's been talking about that case. And who did it, how they did it, I don't know. All I know is a kid, and I got a 17-year-old just brought my jersey, just turned 17. And I look at my child, and I just had that conversation with him, which is where we're at right now today, which is unfortunate. I had to have that conversation with my child about going out with a bunch of your friends and not coming back. And going out with a bunch of your friends and making sure everybody come back. And if everybody don't come back, alert somebody that certain person didn't come back. Who goes home with that certain person's phone, take it to your house, knowing that he was left on the island and he don't have his phone. But yet and still you take his phone. So now you don't know, you got to be a responsible person to understand that, dude, the dude got to have his phone. If you don't have his phone, you know his phone is sitting there blowing up. What did you do? Turn it off? At some point, you're going to grab his phone. Oh, man, his phone is here. And it's going off. Pick up the phone. Oh, his mom is on here. Mom, yeah, he's not here. I took his phone out the boat. I left him over there on the island. My daddy always says something in the milk ain't clean. And shit will float to the top. Unfortunately, it always will. But we do know that is Mississippi. Lane Kiffin told y'all about Mississippi earlier. How difficult it was, and I'm bringing football into this, how difficult it was to recruit in Mississippi. He told y'all about all this negative in the Confederate flag and how racist the people are in Mississippi. And he told y'all that. He said it. At LSU, go look it up. I'm Lane Kiffin's friend. And I told him when he went there, I said, I'm not coming to no Mississippi. He said, well, you can go stay in Memphis and then come over, drive over. I ain't doing that, boss. So we know how crooked Mississippi is, and come to find out, the internet tells it all. Thank God for the social media. Because, boy, they're letting the cat out the bag. I don't know how they're going to cover this one up. This is a social media case. This thing is being tried and handled and investigated by social media, Nancy Grace, and every other person that will not stand for this kid case to go unsolved. They have dug up the records of the examiner and found out how many people, how many other African Americans who have been murdered by white people in Mississippi, hung and everything, and how many people that she said their deaths were unjust. I should have pulled that shit up. The Mississippi Examiner, they were like, she need to be fired. How is she getting away with this? Getting away with murder. How is she getting away with all this? This lady is all the black people who get unalived by somebody, Mississippi Examiner, is just doing what the hell she want to do. She's doing what the hell she wants to do. I can't make this up. She letting everybody go. This is crazy. I can't make it up. So here we sit up here in this day and age, and I now got to teach my son, who I just bought a car for his 17th birthday, and he's going to be a senior this year. He's a senior. I got to have a conversation with him. When they stop you, and I have to have a conversation with him about going to the beach with some white friends. Why am I having this conversation? Why do I have to have this conversation with my child? Why? This makes no sense. Now we got to worry about going to the beach with the white friends, and on top of it, we got to have a conversation about the police pulling you over and what you need to do. So we in fear of all these things. All these elements are out here against us. I can't listen, man. Listen, what kind of world we living in, people? Please be honest with me. Tell me, what kind of world are we living in? What kind of world are we really living in? This shit is crazy. You can't go to the beach with your white buddies and with the fear of not coming back. Look at this. Just look at this. I don't know what's happening. Get that off of there. But here we go. I don't know. Some technical difficulties here. Trying to play a clip of the Examiner, and I'm getting music. I can't make this up. It's Saturday. I'm trying some new things here on this. She's talking. I know she's talking, but it's not showing up. But this Examiner is examining all these people, all these black cases and situations, and all of a sudden, all these cases unsolved. Will that happen here? I think my friend, I think my son and his friends are good friends. I think he has some good friends. There are kids that are jealous of other kids, and we have to teach our kids, you can't be friends with everybody. You know what I'm saying? There are going to be some people who like you, and there are going to be some people who don't like you. So what you can do is, just live your life and, avoid them, because that's what I do. I used to not avoid people. I used to be a person that was very confrontational. If you didn't like me and I didn't think you liked me, then I would result into look, let's go handle this like men, but I don't do that no more, and I don't uh, tell people to do that. But again, where we at right now as a society, it is bad. It's really bad. We got to sit there and have a conversation with them. I was talking to a friend, a lady friend of mine, and she said, I had to, did you have a conversation with your son about what happened with this Nolan Ryan case? See, that's where we at right now. And I'm like, no. And you're right, I do need to have a conversation with him. And I talked to him about it. And here's the wild part about it. He has no idea about this case. I asked him earlier, do you know about the Nolan Ryan case? No. What happened? He's a baseball player. Now, as a baseball player, you know, he's on a team with 95% kids that don't look like him. You know? So again, he's a leader, he's not a follower. And but you have to have that conversation. You gotta have a conversation about the car. Now you gotta have a conversation about who you're hanging out with. But then again, us as parents, we need to be responsible. And I'm not saying that this man's parents was not responsible under no circumstance, because you never know when these type of things gonna happen. But we do have to take in consideration and look at the people who our kids are hanging around. And if they're hanging around with the wrong crowd, then we need to, you know, whether they're white, black, green, purple, whatever the hell they are, we need to say, hey, homeboy, where y'all going? But it's amazing. Yes, he did. Donald Trump did wake up to that's who he gravitated to. I was having a conversation with some people the other day, and they were sitting there trying to explain to me that how Donald Trump won his election. I said, no, Donald Trump went into the Tea Party. He took over the Tea Party. Tea Party was already a bunch of racist, redneck Republicans. They had them went and start calling black folks all kind of names and doing all this negative toward black people in Congress, in the Senate. And, you know, that was their makeup. What did they do? What did they do? He saw that, Steve Bannon, and they said, oh, let's take over this party here. And we'll call it MEGA. The MEGA Tea Party. They should have called it Tea Party on steroids, because they went and took it to a whole nother level. Because you got to understand, there's a whole group of white angry, white nationalists, KKK members who hate everybody and everything, who did not vote. They left the political process alone. They did not vote. And I was trying to tell these people this earlier in the week. He woke up a racist nation of white men and women, and he got them to vote. And that is how he gets the traditional Republican, the Ronald Reagan Republican, out of office. Because when they don't fall in line, his whole mega group votes against that individual. Now, mind you, we're talking about people who hold the office, who have been holding office for many, many years, that nobody couldn't get them out of office because they were just that powerful and powerful with the vote in their district. But what Donald Trump did was woke up all these races in their district and everywhere else around the country because of his rhetoric and J.D. Vance rhetoric and everybody else in his cabinet, and sending these racist messages out. They don't even care. They feed their base. They know how to feed their base to remind them that we don't like black people. We're the first target. You know, because the racist people, the KKK member, the Aryan Nation, they look at us as target number one. Go after the black people And hey, look, your rite of passage is to talk bad about Black people, call them racist, take things away from them that they've achieved in all these years. And we will know at that point, you are one of us, and we will support you to the core, to the end. And that's unfortunately what has happened. Donald Trump has woke up the silent majority of the Republican Party. And that's why when establishment Republicans get out of hand, he says, oh, we're going to run one of our racist Klan members against them. And they beat them in the primary. We don't do that in the Democratic Party. Congressional Black Caucus should be doing that. They should be doing that to the woman in our race. Oh, really? You want to run and take a Black seat away, Miss Debbie, in a Black district? Oh, no. Hey, Leader Hakeem Jeffrey, we're not going to stand for that, not from nobody in their party and not from nobody in our party. She is wrong for that, and we're going to support the Black members who are running. You ain't see no shit like that from no Hakeem Jeffrey. That tells you we don't control nothing. He should have did a Trump number. You let one of them boys get out of hand over there, Trump. No, hold on. I don't like him. And I'm going to endorse Billy Bob. Billy Bob is racist. And Billy Bob going to do what I need to do. And what ends up happening, Billy Bob wins. And Billy Bob becomes the nominee. 90% of the time. Black Caucus don't do that. They sit over there because they don't even control themselves. The white part of the Democratic Party controls the Black part of the Democratic Party, but they have a Black caucus. And we caucus to talk about the issues concerning African Americans in this country. Really. They've exposed themselves through my race, unfortunately. God does things for a reason. That's why when they say God works in mysterious ways, he works in mysterious ways. The mysterious way God has worked in my congressional race and to let Americans know that the representatives that they have no backbone and they really don't represent you because they get their money from their white counterparts, colleagues in the Democratic Party, and they can't not stand in defense of African Americans. They handpick your leaders because they, the white part of the Democratic Party, puts shitload of money into certain candidates that they want to see up in Washington that's going to play ball by their rules. That's what you got. And they don't care because most of these guys that they identify, should I say that? I'll let Hunter Biden say it. I want to say it so bad. You know, I'm going to fought all the way to the Supreme Court for free speech. And if I say what's on my mind, it will come after me. Child, please. But I ain't gonna say it. I'm not gonna blow up the internet today. I blowed up the internet already this week. I blowed up the internet already. If I say what I really want to say, the type of people that the white Democrats pick as representatives for the Black community, that they put the money into their campaign so they can beat anybody, because us Black people don't put money into our candidates' campaign. It's our fault. It ultimately is our fault because we're allowing this to happen. Because we don't play a role. We don't give money. I had to call out all my friends this week. That's going viral. I called out all my friends. Before I took this congressional run, I looked at my Rolodex and I went down the list and I said, okay, well, I'll need probably about a good $1 million, and I don't want to buy the race. And let me see, he can give $3,500. He can max out. He can max out. Oh, he can give $1,000. This other one here might be able to give $50. This one can give $500, and this one right here can give $30. So I looked at my whole Rolodex and said, I got all these fucking millionaires in my Rolodex. All these artists, all these professional athletes that I mentored, that I literally picked up and took to practice and paid, and they became millionaires. I ain't never asked them for nothing, and I ain't asked them for nothing now. Money don't go to me. Money go toward getting me in office so I can do the same thing that I did for them, for the people of my district, to continue the work that I'm doing on a major scale, to bring all kinds of money and opportunities back to the people of my district. So they ain't giving me the money. They're giving the money to the campaign so I can continue the services. So I can continue the services that I provided so that they can be successful. See how that works? But they don't get it. Or they play crazy. They don't want to play. They don't want to get it. But you live and you learn. My dad always tell me that. You live and you learn, son. Keep living and you'll learn a lot. And I tell all y'all that. You live and you learn. People don't realize, hey, look, I'm making a sacrifice for the people. I'm making a sacrifice to be able to help other kids and be able to help people in the community, be able to help seniors, be able to help people in this country. And you don't get that, you don't need a civics class to get that. And then you talk about a guy that never asks you for nothing and never asks anybody for nothing. That's me. I don't ask nobody for nothing. I don't have no partners in nothing. All I do is give. I give to the kids. I help them out. I give back to programs. I help anybody out. I help and inspire people. I've helped and inspired people to be multimillionaires. I've inspired people who just got out of prison for murder and now are multimillionaires because I've shown them the way to living a better life. I've taken kids out of the projects and helped them out. And they became multimillionaires and telling them, if you believe, you can achieve. I've took kids off the streets who thought the life they wanted to live, the only life they wanted to live was the life of crime. And they ain't seen no better way and no other way. And they became multimillionaires. Now some of them say, well, you know, I don't get into this campaign and stuff, man. I don't get into politics. Really? You don't get into politics? Well, you know, politics got you on stage, boss, because I had to spend money to fight for free speech, to make money to be able to discover you as an artist. So now you run around here with Trumpy and the Republican Party and thinking that, oh, if I make a donation to this program here, this campaign, that what? I look at all these rapper girls. If Chili, y'all jumped on Chili. Y'all jumped on Chili for giving money to Donald Trump. Don't say you jumped on Chili just because Chili said something about Michelle Obama, or she liked it, a tweet about Michelle Obama. Y'all jumped on Chili because, and including me, let's be French. We jumped on Chili because Chili made a campaign contribution to Donald Trump. That's why that was the original jump on Chili. And y'all canceled Chili tour. We. Y'all call Chili everything but the child of God. But see how God works? See how God works? Chili was smart enough to know how important it is to put money into Donald Trump's campaign for her candidate, Donald Trump, to win against Kamala Harris or Hillary. She understood the the importance of giving a billionaire money to put in his campaign so that he could win and do the things that she believed in. Y'all jumped on Chili for that. But are y'all jumping on these celebrities right now for not putting money in Luther Campbell's campaign? I'll wait. See, y'all hypocrites. Y'all hypocrites. The same celebrities who came out there jumping on Chili for giving money to Donald Trump, y'all need to be going after them and saying, well, why y'all ain't giving money to Uncle Luke? Uncle Luke went and did what? Stood on the wall for y'all. He went and fought for free speech all the way to the United States Supreme Court. He was the one who put a parental advisory sticker on the record. He was the one to first do that nasty music. He was the one that created all this, what y'all call twerking. He was the one got on stage and went to jail when he did all this curse word music. He was the one that got his record deemed obscene by a federal judge and then later got it overturned to allow y'all to get on stage and say what y'all saying on the records right now. Why y'all ain't jumped on all them? Y'all hypocrites. Y'all should be viring them the same. Y'all should be going after them the same way that they going after Chili. Hey, ain't you got some guys doing a big major tour in football stadiums and doing what Luther Campbell did on stage with the girls when he brought them on stage with the girls and eventually went to jail? Who started it? Who paved the way for them to be able to have the girls on stage dancing with them in an erotic way? Did y'all get in their DM? Did y'all get in their DM? Did y'all get in their DM? Did y'all out them the same way y'all outed Chili? Hey man, y'all brothers up there doing that shit Uncle Luke did. Uncle Luke was the first one to bring the girls on stage. Uncle Luke actually went to jail for that shit. Uncle Luke got more heat. All the pastors, all the C. Dolores Tuckers, everybody in the world jumped on Uncle Luke. Everybody, the municipalities threw him in jail. You bring a girl on stage and all that. That man had to literally jump in cars and escape because when they had concerts, they were telling them they can't do all the things and say all the things and bring the girls on stage. Whoa. Y'all hypocrites. Y'all just wanted to jump on Chili. I'm telling y'all right now, you need to jump on every artist right now who jumped on Chili for giving money to Donald Trump that did not give money to me. I am the culture. I am the person that have paved the way. I'm the person that spent millions of dollars fighting for their rights to do what they're doing on songs and everything else. And they have not given no money. Zero. Rick Ross have. Khaled. Trick Daddy. Trina. Where's everybody else? Where's all the girls who just turn around and shake their ass? Who paved the way for them to shake their ass? Where's Lil Wayne and all the people who's cussing on the record? Where are all these other people? Where they at? I need y'all. Y'all the internet, like Twitter. Go look at everybody. Just go. Y'all know how to go search the thing and see all these people who jumped on Chili. Forgive me. Chili believed in her candidate. And I was one that jumped on her too. So I'm exempt because I'm running to save the black race. But y'all ain't do that. Y'all hypocrites. I just gave y'all the play. I gave y'all the people who have donated to my campaign. I just told y'all. These folks go to the strip club. I think I'm a part of creating the strip club. This making it so glorifying. They go to the strip club with big bags of dollars and throw it up hundreds and $200,000 and $300,000s of dollars. I even had a comedian lady tell me, "Oh, I don't get involved in politics." I was like, really? Here I am running to bring money into the Black community, your constituents, the people who you expect to pay for your high-ass ticket. I'm running your customers. Because last time I checked, sweetheart, you ain't had a white face in your comedy show ever. You ain't Whitney Houston. You ain't Whitney Houston. You have a whole bunch of Black people at your comedy show. And so I am running as a Black candidate in a Black congressional district to represent Black people, to bring jobs and economics and help Black families who are suffering. And you have the nerve to tell me, oh, you don't get into politics? You won't get into politics? You won't host a fundraiser? You won't contribute to the campaign? But yet still you want them people to put, if I tell y'all her name, them the people y'all need to cancel. But I ain't gonna do it to her. They asked me the other day, take a picture with her, I didn't. I said, no thanks. I don't play. If I tell y'all who it is, y'all be like, oh shit. Not her. She talk all that Cash Money Black shit on stage. Not her. No. I'm just saying. This race has exposed a lot of things. This race has exposed to us whether we have great Black representation, because them same Black folks in the Democratic Party and the same Democratic Party jumped on the Republican Party for them taking representation away from Tennessee, Alabama, Black representation, and Louisiana. And God set them up and had a white woman run from their party against me and other Black candidates to try and take away a Black seat with all of her money. She's not just another white candidate. Oh no. She's a white candidate that's been in Congress for many, many years, decided to get out of her own district and run in the Black district with 4 other Black candidates with $3 million in her war chest and another $15 million in PAC money. And you could put all of the Black candidates together, we ain't got 10% of the amount of money she has. And these people know it, and they ain't say nothing. So God has put this in a position to let you know that your representation in Congress is not what it is, not what you thought it was. And then God set up, well, what he did. He set it up where we jumped on Chile for giving money to Donald Trump, but we did not jump on the same people and all these other celebrities. He set it up perfect because he got the nasty rapper, the man who fought for free speech, the man who was the first to do all this cussing on the record and stood up on the table for it, the man whose record was banned and the man who went back in and got it overturned, the man who created twerking, how they all making all their money right now today. He set it up perfect to just show y'all who y'all really are in today's age. That y'all really only just gravitate to negativity and y'all ride down the highway with it. So y'all attack Chile, but you're hypocrites, because now you have the time to go attack anybody that's shaking their ass on the record and saying any explicit lyrics. You go into on their posts. Go on their posts and say, did you give money to Uncle Luke campaign? Because he the motherfucker that allowed you to do what you're doing. He the one that paved the way. Did you go in there and get them? And that's the opportunity that you have right now. Uncle Luke's supposed to be Uncle Luke running for Congress. Supposed to have $10 million in his campaign fund. All these folks making money off of what I created and what I fought for. See, Puff Daddy is in jail right now. Why is Puff Daddy in jail? Puff Daddy's in jail off what they call the Mann Act. They said they never used this Mann Act for 100 years. It has been on the books for 100 years, and they never used it until now. I'm literally 100 years until now. They used the Mann Act against Puff Daddy, and they convicted him and put him in jail for this thing called the Mann Act. He's transporting the women and bringing women from here to here. All y'all flying girls out. You know what you're flying them out for. But they used the Mann Act against Puff Daddy. They had to dig up something from somewhere, find something, some case law that they convicted somebody of that they never got overturned on an appeal, that's law on the books that they can invoke. Hey, judge, this guy here did the Mann Act. There's a Mann Act in 1662 where John Paul was convicted of transporting a girl across the county line, and this is what he did, and we're going to prove that today. And it's like, what? Like sodomy is the law. Why I say all that to say this? When they deemed my record nasty as they want to be, obscene, if I'd have left that on the books and did not get it overturned, spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in attorney fees, flying experts in, all that, if I don't get that case overturned, and as nasty as they want to be today, would have still been deemed obscene, just like they used the Mann Act against Puff Daddy, they could have used my case against any and every rapper that did what they consider obscene lyrics on an album. Now tell me if you'd had your Sexy Red. Tell me if you'd had your Lotto. Tell me if you'd had your Lil Wayne. Tell me if you'd had all this other stuff. Tell me if you'd had all these people right now who saying, tell me you had your little baby and the baby and that baby and all these babies. Tell me if you'd had them. Because the same way you applied the Mann Act against Puff Daddy, because they never got that overturned, that was case law. You go to jail for case law. So it would have been case law if I'd have left that case on the books. And any municipality, any prosecutor, federal or state could have said, well, the case law, Luther Campbell versus the state of Florida. And in this case, ladies and gentlemen, he sung about, hey, we want some pee and face down, ass up, and this and that. In the F shop, he used the F word and he used the D word and he used the C word 1,000 times in the record. And this particular record right here, when Lil Wayne said he pulled over and fucked by a lady cop, and this record right here, when Sexy say when the girl said lick my butt and my crack and all this and that and everything, and this other girl here, Nicki Minaj, said this and this one said that, all these records, because the case law is obscene, and we are now taking them off the shelf, and we're going to put the rappers in jail. And now that alerts all the record companies, you can't put that kind of music out, because you're going to be held liable too as an accessory. So those major record labels are not going to put this music out, and there goes the neighborhood. None of these artists that you see right now today profiting off all this music that I paved the way, that they have not given a campaign contribution to, will be making any money. See how that works? Puff Daddy, Mann Act, Luther Campbell goes in when his record was deemed obscene. See, everybody has a tendency of looking at my other case, which is when I went to the Supreme Court fighting for free speech. That was where the parody was protected by the First Amendment. And it's the same thing I'm saying about these artists. It's the same thing I'm saying about these comedians. Hello. Saturday Night Live. Y'all need to get on their posts and say, hey, Saturday Night Live, you filed a brief on Luther Campbell's behalf because all you do all day is parodies every Saturday night. And if he lost that case in the Supreme Court, when he did a parody of Pretty Woman, if you'd have left that case on the books, you and every other comedian would not be able to do parody. So your show would be canceled. And all these other comedians. So I got a bunch of rappers and I got a bunch of comedians. So you pair those two things together. And here, Mr. Campbell, once again, is going to fight the world on behalf of the people. And the comedians ain't nowhere to be found. Chris Rock, go on his post, go on his DM. Chris Rock became famous. One of his most famous skits when he was on Saturday Night Live is when he imitated me. Go look it up. That's when he got discovered. And he just went on to success. So all the comedians who profited off of my fight should be dumping millions of dollars into my campaign. All the artists who profited from my fight in federal court should be dumping millions of dollars into my campaign, but they're nowhere to be found. So it says to you, what's it? You go into these fights and you say, I'm doing it for the culture. All that. I'm doing it for the culture. I'm doing it for everybody behind me so they can be able, so they won't get treated in the way that I'm being treated. And so they'll be able to do the things that I'm paving the way for them to be able to do. But do they give a shit? But that's another reason why they don't want a lot of people to understand their history. Y'all always ask, Luke, when is your movie coming out? They buy the rights and shelf it. They buy the rights to the movie and say, oh, we're going to do a movie on your life story. Let's write it up. Let's write it up. But when are we going to shoot? I've been to 2 companies and have not shot in the movie yet. Movie already written up. Major companies. I'm not going to call their names. Because people don't want history to be told. But I'm coming down the line of not shooting this movie. I guess they want to wait for me to croak and then shoot it and do what they want to do and tell history the way they want to tell it. But that's where we're at, people. That is where we're at. We sit up here and be hypocrites. That's right. What's wrong with us? They got us so fucked up in the brains because we don't follow history. We don't want to know anything about who came before us because we think we discovered Plymouth Rock. We don't want to give credit to nobody. If I sit here, the people on this that's looking to this broadcast, you can make a statement to all these people after looking at this. You can take and go on your social media page and you can voice your outrage to all these artists and all these comedians and say, how dare you not contribute? This man just sat on here and told us 2 people, and he wants to go and continue helping people save lives like he saved y'all idiots' life. And none of y'all, this man just gave us 4 people that supported his campaign and all y'all profiting off of what he stood for. I'm a legend because I stood for the First Amendment. I'm a legend because I went to the Supreme Court. I'm a legend because I stood up for hip hop. I went to jail, locked up, because I knew that if I didn't take the fight on, that every other artist behind me could not do or say the things that I want to say, that they would have suppressed our message. And these dudes sit here right now today. And y'all sit here right now today, and y'all don't call them out. But you jumped on Chili. canceled her tour because she did what? Gave money to Donald Trump. We don't like Donald Trump. But do you like Luke? He's the total opposite of Donald Trump. Trump's job is to do what? Tear us down in any shape, form, or fashion. But Luke is here to do what? The same thing that he did for y'all ass, so y'all can live in million dollar operations in places off the things that he paid the way for. But you don't make a campaign contribution to Luke. So he can go do some good work for our people. Luke should have $10 million in his account. $100,000 to be exact. I'm not buying an election. I'm not taking my money and buy it, because when you buy an election, what ends up happening is you want to find a way to get your money back. This job only pays $170,000. I actually canceled a 29-city tour. 29-city tour to run in this race, to do what? Make a sacrifice for people that look like me. And if I do the things that I know I'm capable of doing in my district, that will put pressure on everybody else, every other Black congressman, to do the same thing that I'm doing in my congressional district into their congressional district, and therefore we would have great representation all around the country. And if they do the job, then I will be the first one raising money and raising awareness of getting their Black ass out and helping them put somebody in that's going to do right by our people. That's how serious this is. And that's how serious it is for y'all. Y'all need to be in them people's shit. But yet and still, y'all get crazy when 50 Cent do something at Donald Trump's place, or Snoop Dogg. Y'all get crazy. Oh, how dare they go over there with Donald Trump? Oh my God. And they say, hey man, I'm going over and give me a check. Y'all get crazy when they do that. Let's think about this. Let's do this. Let's think about this. I ain't even eating a Jersey Mike. I wasn't going to be on here a long time. Let's think about this. Let's think about y'all. Let's think about us. We jump on those guys when the crypto people are giving them a check and they support Donald Trump. But y'all don't jump on them for not donating or being a part of my campaign. And my campaign is total opposite of Trump campaign. My campaign is really about fighting for Black people in the Black community and fighting for Black people around the world, around this country. But y'all ain't jump on nobody for that. And y'all ain't made no contribution either. So all of everybody just hypocrites. We will just sit up here and just all be hypocrites. No. Go make your post. Hey, my name is Barbara, and I'm upset. I'm upset with these two boys who got the girls on stage. Y'all got the girls on stage, and let me tell y'all who did it first. Educate them. Educate the young people. I'm not saying that Chris Brown and Usher and all them, I like them dudes. They my friends. I'm not saying that they don't know, but sometimes people have to tell them, and they'll be like, oops, I had a brother yesterday, big time producer. I had Will Packer, who's producing my movie, call me up and say, brother, I saw the post and I'm upset, but I had to check myself because I ain't made a contribution. So let me make a contribution before I get upset. Hello? Y'all can do it. You want to go viral? Go get every one of these artists who's shaking their ass and turning around and dropping it like it's hot and twerking, which is popping that thing. Go get them all. Hey, oh, hey, baby, you doing all that? You made a lot of money doing that right there. Did you give a contribution to Uncle Luke? Because Uncle Luke made, and that's y'all to be educating them on something that they don't know. Now, they just don't know because ain't nobody told them. They think they think Drake invented twerking. They really do. They really, that's how small-minded a lot of these people. They really think Drake, because he said it in a song and they did it on the video, using my song, pop that. And they think he really invented twerking. And they don't know that Luther Campbell invented it. It was Doodle Brown and Pop That Coochie and all that stuff like that. That's what it was. That was the name of the dance. Hello. And that's the history. Y'all can educate them and help them on the history. Hop on your social media. Hey, look here. And at their ass. Where you at, Cardi B? Where you at, Megan Thee Stallion? Where you at, Lotto? Where you at? Red? Where you at? Where you at? Did you make a donation to Where you at? All you independent record labels, and where you at? Hey, I need your whole team to make a contribution, not just your whole team, because your whole team is eating because this nigga went and fought for free speech. And he went and got the record overturned because you could have been Puff Daddy. I'm dropping gems today, people. Did you make a contribution? Oh, we're on for the culture. I'm a part of the culture. I got told by BET they won't play my videos because I had too many girls in bikinis. And I fought back and I fought back. I was told by everybody that I got these cuss words on the record. I had C. Dolores Tucker, I had Jesse Jackson, you name it, everybody. I had John McCain, I had Tipper Gore, Al Gore, everybody. But the child of God, I got sued by George Lucas, Star Wars, because my name was Luke Skywalker, and he doing this nasty music. I got sued by this man, had to pay $500,000 in attorney fees and pay this man $500,000. I went through hell and high water for these people to do what they doing on records. It wasn't just no walk in the park. I went to a city. I never did a full tour because I was blackballed. You think Kanye West is blackballed? No, nasty people. They would literally have horses and shit. They would have horses at the arenas with guns, like as if the Antichrist was coming, because of lyrics, because they hadn't got the message. And I walked right through the horses. Hey, look at, man, y'all can put me in jail, do whatever y'all want to do in any kind of town it was, or whatever it may be, you name it. It was like the civil rights movement all over. Y'all should be doing it. This is your viral moment time. Get on there and call them out. Everybody shaking their ass. You get on there on your social media platform and you call them out. I'm going to call out such and such and Adam. And by the way, collaborate with me. Go to my Instagram and collaborate with me. I'm on here collaborate. You start a movement right here. This is where you start the movement at. You put it on Twitter, I'm going to repost it at me. Call them all out because they need to understand history and they need to understand what's at stake in this election because the world is watching. They sit up there and look at my campaign finances report. They see me do a fundraiser with Rick Ross. They see me do a fundraiser with Ludacris. They see me do a fundraiser with DJ Khaled. And they looked at the numbers to see if these black rappers really got it. To see people contribute. No, most of the people came and just walk around and have a drink and take pictures with the artists. They didn't contribute. They was looking for a photo op to put it on their social media page. The artists donated, but the people who showed up came there for a photo shot, a photo. I had people in my campaign just on the campaign because they know rappers were going to be surrounded by me. And when I stopped doing those type of events, because they were not making any money, I was actually spending more money hosting those events, and their job was to bring people to make campaign contributions. Stop doing it. And some of those people left. You can't find them because there was no opportunity for a photo op. And those people were looking. The opposition was looking to see how much money I was going to generate through my hip hop coalition. And they're sitting there looking, he ain't no threat. Niggas ain't no threat. Niggas ain't no threat. They weren't able to raise no money. They weren't able to raise no real money. And when they all came together in Atlanta and in Miami and Broward and Palm Beach, they were not able to. So they are not a threat. We can continue doing black people the way we want to do black people. So it's a bigger picture. I ain't got no money, right? If they came in with big numbers, then they'll be on notice. Oh shit. We got something to deal with, because it starts with me. And who's next? Scarface. Who's that? I had a conversation with Cube last night. Who's next? There are some very educated. David Banner. Who's next? T.I. Who's next? Snoop Dogg. These brothers then came together, and the culture is forming a new world order, a new party. But they looked at it and they said, look at him. We can continue doing business as usual because they didn't gravitate to it. You guys have an opportunity. So I'm telling y'all, everybody that watched this broadcast, go in their DM. Go on the page. No, don't go in the DM. Out them, because they ain't not going to go and do a video and call out the artists who you like. Just do them the same way you did Chili. For giving money to Donald Trump. Do them the same way for not giving to Uncle Luke. I'm charging y'all with that. Y'all don't do it. Y'all to be part of crashing the culture. I'm just saying. That's where we at with this. It's a lot of things connected to this run. That's why I say, hey, look, God allows me to win, which I truly believe through all the bullshit. I truly believe God is going to allow me to win this race. We're going to defeat all the odds, which is what I've been doing all my entire life, defeating the odds. When I started my record company in the South, when there was no other record company doing hip hop music, and I went and fought for hip hop in the South, and then fought the industry and fought the government. I ain't had no bunch of money then. I just say, if there's a will, there's a way. I put in sweat equity. I sold records right out of the trunk of my car. That's why I get up every day and I walk the streets and go to those voters' house and give them my door hanger, one voter at a time. That's what I do. I get on my social media page. I post my platform one at a time to my fan base. Open at my fan base, send it to people here. That's what we do. That's where we're at. But we have an opportunity right now to really take control of the party. Support. Hey, if you can't make it, you can do it with your Twitter fingers. Go after them. Y'all jumped on Chili. Because you know what's going to happen? Hey, 50, you over there with Donald Trump? Did you make a donation to Unc? Go after all of them. Some of them don't know, which I find that hard to believe. I find it hard to believe for you not to know that I'm running in this race. And you know, if Chile know to give money to Donald Trump, you know you need to be making a campaign contribution to Unc, because half of them follow me if I say something about one of them. I remember when the Super Bowl was here in Miami, and I said something. I said, Jay-Z, you did wrong. You ain't got no brothers from Miami. You ain't got no Ross and Trick Daddy and Trina up on stage. You got this Jennifer Lopez and this Shakira or whoever. Jay-Z found me. He found my number. He called everybody in town until he found me, because I said it on my social media page. They follow me. They watch me. So if I call somebody's name, we call them out, or they'll find a way to find me. Hey, oh man, let's have a sit down, man. Let's talk about this right here. Man, I appreciate what you did for the culture, man, and what you did for the business, man. But man, come on, man, I ain't like that. I love Jay-Z. I love all. That's where we at, ladies and gentlemen. That's my show. It's getting dark out here. Had a good time. I might be going to Newburgh Baptist Church. Tomorrow I'll be doing my last farm. I will not be doing any more farms. I think I'm over there tomorrow after church, having a two-way farm. Make sure y'all check out my girl. Make sure y'all come down for Labor Day weekend. Miami Gardens, they got my good friend Kendra is having a big football game, classic. Spent a weekend down here. FAMU, I think, versus South Carolina State. Beautiful weekend, beautiful time. South Florida, come on down. As soon as my race is over with, I'm going to France. Y'all better hope I win, because if I don't, I'm gonna get dual citizenship. I'm spend half my time in the Bahamas and the other half my time in Jamaica. I'm gonna leave y'all to this. Junior be going to college. I just fly back over, do what I gotta do, go back, go on tour, do what I gotta do, keep making movies, keep making TV shows and all that. But woo. That's my show, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all. Hopefully you learned something with this show today, because I always aim to educate and put people up on game. I see people all the time be like, Luke, boy, you be telling that shit like it is, man. You got some security? I'm like, no. God is my security, because I tell the truth. Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like the truth. I know a lot of people hate the truth, but I keep it a buck. The thing I know about white people, they respect you more when you tell the truth and when you speak for your people. I speak for my people. So I want to see how many of y'all go viral. I want to see how many of y'all call people out. I want to see how many of y'all collaborate with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I don't think you collaborate. You can retweet at me when you go hit them artists. At me. Do that. And I'm going to repost it at me. And I'm going to say gospel. I ain't got no problem with it. But I want to thank you guys. I'll be back on Monday, unless I do a special show. I got to do Kendra, talk about Orange Blossom Classic. Maybe another politician. But early voting starts the 8th in Broward County. I'm running in Congressional District 20. Please go out and vote. Please go to my website, www.luthercampbellforcongress.com. Make a campaign contribution, $5, or volunteer. We're going to need some people to work at the poll for us, because it gets real violent at the polls, and we need some real strong black men and black women to work at the polls. And if you want to walk the neighborhood with me, go to my website. I walk every day. I walk Monday through Friday. I go to neighborhoods, knocking on doors, talking to people, talking about the issues. So we need all the help we can get. I love you all. Until the next time, peace. Have a nice day. In the words of Walter Cronkite, may the good news be yours.
The next great Congressman. congressman from the state of Florida, and his name will be Luther Campbell.
I'm Civil Rights Attorney Ben Crump, often referred to as Black America's Attorney General. I grew up in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, went to high school at South Plantation High School. My dad still lives in Parkway. We want to make sure we have a strong advocate from our community who understands our culture to go fight for us in the United States Congress. So make sure you go vote for Uncle Luke Campbell for Congress on August 18th.